Member Green,
Present.
Member Allen, Present.
Secretary Morgan, Vice President Dumas,
Present.
and President Suggs.
Present.
Mr. President, the roll is 4 present and 1 absent.
With 4 members.
Move to approve the minutes from the meeting of November 26, 2024.
Second?
It's been moved and properly seconded to approve the minutes for our November 26, 2024 meeting. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting minutes have passed. Let's move to item 4 on our agenda, claims.
Mr. President, we have before us claims. Thank you. We have before us claims to be paid on December 6, 2026. General fund is $201,474.07. Special revenues including motor vehicle highway, local roads and streets, health and human services, SAPS grant, vehicle auction, immunization billing grant, court, green urbanism grant, solid waste recycling grant, HIV prevention grant, COVID-19 health grant, media fund, DeWitt non-reverting fund, in-cameras fund, park construction, and workers' comp and unemployment, total $1,147,691.96. Public safety income tax, $179,746.58. Total to be paid on December 6 is $1,528,912.61.
May I have a motion to approve claims to be paid for December 6, 2024?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
and President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 opposition, the motion carries.
Mr. President, we also have ratification of claims for payroll, $25,835.23. For vendor claims, $37,058.75.
May I have a motion to approve ratification for claims?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
and President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With 4 yes and 0 opposition, the motion carries. Ratification claims have been approved.
That concludes claims.
Moving on to item 5, unfinished business on our agenda. Do we have any unfinished business before the board?
Mr. President, we have a couple of items that I believe were tabled from previous meetings. However, after review, the legal department is still reviewing those items, so they are not ready to come off the floor off the table for unfinished business.
Thank you, sir. Let's move to item number 6 on our agenda, new business.
Yes, Mr. President, we have before us the contract, the first contract for Faculty Design LLC. This contract is for Faculty Design to complete the website and web tech designs. The total amount is for $3,020 for the year of 2025, and it's a 12-month contract. Excuse me, not to exceed $3,020. QC12 and QC40 has been provided, and it is to complete the website and design and updates to the City Council's website. At this time, I would like to move to approve the contract for Faculty Design LLC.
It's a motion on the floor to approve contract for Faculty Designs not to exceed $3,020. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Just for clarification, this is the same website designer that the city uses for their design, so the council is making the same adjustment in regards to it. So this is a vendor that the city is aware of.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, let's move on to roll call for approval, please.
Member Green.
Yes.
Member Allen.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
And President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 opposition, the contract for faculty designs not to exceed $3,020 has been approved.
Yes, Mr. President, the next contract we have is also from the Gary Common Council. It's in reference to Boyce Posley Communications. This is to provide communication support. The total amount to be billed is to not exceed $24,000 for the year of 2025. Their strategic communication support for the Gary Common Council, having received the QC 12 and QC 40. There is some amendments that the legal department has made, but we would like to make a motion to approve this contract contingent upon the amendments from the legal department that were requested.
It's a motion to approve contract for Boyce Posley Communications, pending the approval of legal. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. May we have some discussion, if there's any discussion on this issue? Hearing no discussion, may we move to roll call for approval, please?
Member Green.
Yes.
Member Allen.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
And President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 opposition, the contract not to exceed $24,000 for Boyce Posley Communications pending review of legal has been approved.
The final contract received correspondence from the Gary Common Council is in reference to Whitney Chapman. The scope of services is professional consulting services for the Gary Common Council. The not to exceed amount is for $12,600 over the course of 3 months. This was provided. However, there are some amendments and review that must occur by the legal department. So this contract, there's a motion, my motion is to approve this contract contingent final approval and review of the amendments by the legal department.
There's a motion on the floor to approve contract for Whitney Chapman Contractors in the amount of $12,600 in a 3-month period, pending the final review and approval from legal. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this issue? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green.
Yes.
Member Allen.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 opposition, the contract for Whitney Chapman of $12,600 for a 3-month time period, pending the final review and approval of legal, has been approved.
Mr. President, the next item of new business is correspondence from the Finance Department. This correspondence is a recommendation to approve public bid. The recommendation is to go to public bid for HVAC replacement for city facilities. At this time, I would like to approve the permission for the Finance Department to advertise via the Board of Public Works HVAC replacement for city facilities.
There's a motion on the floor to approve public bid for Finance Department for HVAC services for city departments. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green.
Yes.
Member Allen.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 opposition, the approval for HVAC replacement bids to be listed by Finance Department has been approved.
Mr. President, I believe that completes all of new business. Did I miss anything? I'm sorry, I'm missing something.
Hey, I don't have tags.
Sorry, I did miss some. Sorry, I apologize, Mr. President. Mr. President, the next correspondence is for Ashley Eves. This is in reference to the Bloomberg Love Your Block fellow position description. After being reviewed, as you know, the city was approved to receive a Love Your Block grant to hire a fellow and a Vista. That the Vista is covered under other funds, but the fellow is covered under the grant. This contract is a contract for that individual to provide said services under the grant requirement. It is $40,000 for the entire year of 2025, and not to exceed that amount. At this time, I would like, having received the QC 12 and QC 40, my motion is to approve the contract for Ashley Eves for $40,000, not to exceed $40,000 for 2025.
There's a motion to approve the contract for Ashley Eves for the Love Your Block Fellow, not to exceed $40,000 during the 2025 year. May I have a second to that?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. May we have any discussion on this motion?
Just additional follow-up, again, this is the Love Your Block. This is a grant received from Bloomberg, and this is the individual that will act as the fellow or the coordinator throughout the city that is in conjunction with the Urban League of Northwest Indiana. And the individual will work in conjunction with constituent services to provide that support in the community.
Any further discussion on this motion? Hearing no further discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 opposition, the Love Your Block Fellow of Ashley Eves has been approved, not to exceed $40,000 for the 2025 year.
Mr. President, the final correspondence came by way of the Fire Commission. We received QC 12 and QC 40 for a new amended contract for Ayanna Wright. Ayanna Wright has been providing support and training services for the Fire Commission. At this time, I would like to motion to approve Ayanna Wright's contract withdraw that motion. At this time, Mr. President, I would like to table the contract for further review and discussion for Ayanna Wright for the rest of 2024 for an amount to not to exceed $5,500.
There's a motion on the floor to table the contract for Ayanna Wright for the Fire Commission, not to exceed $5,500. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion?
Again, I know they submitted everything, but the reason for conversation and tabling is that we need to have a conversation with the president of the Fire Commission by way of review from previous State Board of Accounts findings. We want to make sure that the individual is not functioning in the capacity of an employee that is currently budgeted for the Fire Commission. So I do believe that we should have that conversation with them as a reminder, as well as with the legal department. So that's the motion for tabling.
Any further discussion on this matter? Hearing none, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas,
Yes.
President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 opposition, the contract for Ayanna Wright for the Fire Commission has been tabled.
I believe that concludes all correspondence received under new business.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 7 on our agenda, public comments. Are there any public comments online, sir? No. Thank you. Having no public comments online, I'm looking at the sheet here in the room, and there are no signatures for public comments, and I want to open up the floor if there's anyone in the room who would like to make a comment before the board. Seeing no comments, I'd like to go to item 8, adjournment on our agenda. May I have a motion to adjourn? Adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and properly seconded to adjourn the meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting has been adjourned. Oh.